नमस्कार दोस्तों, इस सेशन में हम ऑल मिलिट्री एक्सरसाइज देखेंगे जो कि लास्ट 6 मंथ में हैपेंड हुए हैं और इसमें से 50 क्वेश्चन को सिलेक्ट करके लाए हैं जो कि काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है और ये बार बार रिपीट होते हैं वेरियस एग्जाम में। तो इससे पहले कि स्टार्ट करें, सभी से निवेदन है कि चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए और वीडियो को लाइक कर दीजिए। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, बिटवीन विच टू कंट्रीज वाज द मिलिट्री एक्सरसाइज डिजर्ट साइक्लोन सेकेंड ऑर्गेनाइज्ड? सो द आंसर इज इंडिया एंड UAE, ऑप्शन बी। द मैरीटाइम exercise GMAX 25 was conducted between India and which of the following countries? So you can see that GMAX जापान इंडिया मैरीटाइम एक्सरसाइज नाम में ही दिया हुआ है, तो किसके साथ होगा? इंडिया और जापान। जापान इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, which year has been officially declared by the Indian Army as the year of networking and data centricity? So the answer is 2026, option C the correct answer. Next question, in January 2026 the Indian Armed Force which new special force consisting of over 1 lakh drone operator, 1 lakh drone operator, that is Bhairav Bal, 1 lakh drone operator बल का नाम भैरव बल। Next question, where was the साझा शक्ति exercise held in January 2026 to announce coordination between civil and military agencies? The answer is Pune, Maharashtra, option B the correct answer. Next question, what is the name of the tri-service military exercise conducted along India's western border in October 2025? So answer is Operation Trishul, option C the correct option. Operation Trishul. In which state was the joint military exercise Eastern Prachand Prahar organized by the Indian Army? So the answer is Arunachal Pradesh. Next question, which operation was launched in November 2025 to target infiltrator in the Iran sector of Kupwara, Jammu and Kashmir? So the answer is Operation Pimple. Operation Pimple, option B is the correct option. Next question, the multilateral naval exercise Malabar 2025 took place at which location? So Guam, Northern Pacific region. Answer is Guam, Northern Pacific region. Malabar 2025, Guam, Northern Pacific region. Next question, which Indian naval ship represented India in the Malabar 2025 exercise? Answer is INS Sahyadri. Option B is the correct answer. INS Sahyadri. Next question, the 11th edition of the bilateral exercise Mitra Shakti 2025 between India and Sri Lanka was held in? The correct answer is Belgavi, Karnataka. Option B is the correct option, Belgavi, Karnataka. Next question, where was the 6th edition of the India-Vietnam military exercise Winbacks 2025 at 25 organized? So Winbacks 25 organized in Hanoi, Vietnam. Correct option is Hanoi, Vietnam. Next question, the 8th edition of the air exercise Garuna 25 was held between India and which country? Option is France is the correct option. Next question, Ajay Warrior 25 is a joint military exercise conducted between India and which nation? Ajay Warrior 25, Britain. India and Britain. Ajay Warrior 25, India and Britain. Next question, the 19th edition of the Surya Kiran military exercise November 2025 involved India and which country in Surya Kiran? That is Sri Lanka. Option B, Sri Lanka is the correct option. Surya Kiran happened between India and Sri Lanka. Next question, the bilateral maritime exercise OS Index 2025 took place in which region? Australia, India. So region, which region? So Northern Pacific. Option B the correct option, Northern Pacific. Next question, the 14th edition of the joint military exercise Aquarium 2025 was held between India and Maldives. Option A is the correct option, Aquarium between India and Maldives. Next question, where was the naval exercise SLINEX 25 organized between India and Sri Lanka? So SLIN Sri Lanka India exercise happened in Colombo, Sri Lanka. So B the correct option, Colombo, Sri Lanka. Next question, the 14th edition of the Maitri exercise September 2025 was held between India and Maitri. So the Maitri between India and Thailand. Next question, joint military exercise Indra 2025 was conducted in Bikaner between India and Indra 2025 Russia. Rus. So military exercise Indra between Russia and India. Next question, the 4th edition of joint exercise Austra Hind 2025 was hosted by which city? That is Perth, Australia. So Austra Hind, Australia, India, and hosted by city Perth in Australia. Next question, Samudra Shakti 2025 fifth edition was organized between India and which country? So Samudra Shakti between India and Indonesia. Option B is the correct option. Next question, the first bilateral naval exercise in Rock in October 2025 was held between India and South Korea. Option B is the correct option. Next question, which Indian aircraft carrier participated in the Conquer 2025 exercise? The correct option is INS Vikrant. Option B is the correct answer. Next question, the third edition of the joint exercise Cyclone 2025 involved India and which nation? Egypt. Next question, which exercise was conducted to enhance synergy between Indian Army and Air Force? The correct option is winged radar. Winged radar. Next question, the Dharm Guardian 2025 exercise was held at Mount Fuji between India and Dharm Guardian between India and Japan. Next question, the 12th edition of the Joint Special Force Exercise Khanjar 12 involved India and Kyrgyzstan. Option B the correct answer, Kyrgyzstan. Next question, the 4th edition of the Bongo Sagar 2025 naval exercise took place in which location? So the Bay of Bengal. Bongo Sagar took place in Bay of Bengal. Next question, Varuna or Varun 2025 23rd edition is a bilateral naval exercise between India and Varun exercise India and France. Varun exercise India and France. Next question, where was the 17th edition of the Nomadic Elephant 2025 exercise organized? So Nomadic Elephant exercise Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. So right in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Next question, the joint exercise Bold Kurukshetra 2025 was held in Jodhpur between India and Bold Kurukshetra. So the India and Singapore, between India and Singapore, Bold Kurukshetra. Next question, the 4th edition of the Tiger Triumph 2025 tri-service exercise involved India and USA. Tiger Triumph 2025 India and USA. Next question, the 32nd edition of the Maritime Bilateral Exercise SIMBEX 2025 was held between India and the SIMBEX between India and Singapore. So it is already seen as Singapore India Maritime Bilateral Exercise. Next question, in which state did the Indian Armed Forces conduct the Prachand Prahar 2025 exercise? So Prachand Prahar 2025 in Arunachal Pradesh. Option B is the correct option. Prachand Prahar in Arunachal Pradesh. Agni Warrior is a bilateral military exercise conducted between India and Singapore. Agni Warrior India between India and Singapore. Next question, the bilateral joint military exercise Harimo Shakti Harimo Shakti is held between India and the Harimo Shakti between India and Malaysia. Option A is the correct option, India and Malaysia. Next question, Operation Akhand Prahar. Operation Akhand Prahar was conducted in November 2025 in which city? So Akhand Prahar in Jaisalmer, Rajasthan. Next question, where was the Brahmasira exercise organized by the Indian Army in November 2025? So Brahmasira in Gujarat. Next question, the 5th edition of the multilateral naval exercise Komodo was hosted by Indonesia. Komodo is hosted by Indonesia. Next question, what was the theme for the Komodo 2025 naval exercise? The theme was Maritime Partnership for Peace and Sustainability. Maritime Partnership for Peace and Sustainability. Next question, the first joint exercise SIMBEX was conducted between India and which country? So Singapore India bilateral exercise between Singapore first. So the next question is joint military exercise Dastalik is conducted between India and which army? Dastalik in Uzbekistan. So the Dastalik military exercise between India and Uzbekistan. Next question, between which two countries is the Yudh Abhyas military exercise conducted? So Yudh Abhyas conducted between India and USA. Next question, OPEX is a military exercise conducted between India and which nation? So the OPEX between India and Egypt. Option B is the correct option, India and Egypt, OPEX. Next question, the joint military exercise Lamite is organized between India and Seychelles. Option A is the correct option, Lamite, India and Seychelles. Next question, India and Indonesia participate in which joint military exercise? So Garud Shakti. Option B is the correct option, Garud Shakti. Next question, the Indian Air Force conducted the Eastern Bridge exercise with which country? Oman. Stern Bridge with Oman. Next question. The Dosti military exercise is a trilateral engagement between which nations? The Dosti is between India, Maldives, Sri Lanka. So option B is the correct option. India, Maldives, Sri Lanka. Next and the last question. The Shinyu Maitri air exercise is conducted between India and Japan. Shinyu Maitri between India and Japan. So thank you for watching.